So the balance that this has created has been phenomenal. The change of the sleeping behaviors, the release that when I am in pain, I can do stuff. We've traveled through Switzerland, through Italy in May, and that was one of my goals, is I wanted to be able to walk around Italy with my wife for her 50th birthday. So through physical therapy, we were able to do that, and I've got some other goals that I haven't quite reached yet, but I like to travel and do some mission work, and I've put that on the burner for a couple of years because I wasn't sure that if I didn't have somebody around that could help me get through the pain, specifically a chiropractor, what it would be like traveling that way.
All right, so I'm just going to start by, I'm going to ask you the first couple questions, and then we'll just kind of go through this. If we need to pause, then we will.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so you can tell me who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about what you love to do.
Hi, my name is Doug Fox, and I'm originally from Colorado. I've lived in Scottsdale for about 8 years. I do handyman and remodeling, so I do a lot of physical activity, but I've had some injuries in the past that have hampered my life, and I'm thankful I found DPT. Before I came to DPT, there'd be episodes every year, 2 years, that I would basically be inactive. Something would happen and I would lock up. So I'd go to chiropractors, lots of massage, baths, Epsom salts, and once everything started to relax and I get things working again, I'd be able to go back to normal activity. This would last anywhere from 3 days to maybe a week and a half. But this time when it happened last November, it just seemed different. My hip was locking up because of my spinal injuries, and then the muscular injuries, surgery on the opposite knee. It really put a lot of pressure on that hip. And then because of my spinal fusions of its own accord, when it would lean over or something on that nerve, then my leg would go numb and dead. I had cupping done, and all they could tell me is that it's not good, it's not healthy, it's not getting the flow. Well, how do I get it in? I've been through massage therapists, they couldn't get it open. But once I got my pelvis to stop and relax and align correctly, I got my multifidi region to start working, and my erectors to relax. They were totally locked and almost like iron. Everything started functioning differently. And that's when I noticed my knee problems more. That's when I noticed my foot problems more. But now as we're addressing them, my life is really coming full circle, and I'm quite surprised that it's only been 1 year. I've done chiropractor since I was 13, and seen the doctors for many years. They said there's nothing they could do unless I wanted to do some sort of surgery, which I wasn't ready for. Once the nerve pain started, I knew there was something I needed to do, but I put it off for another 10, 12 years. And in 2003, they had told me, this is it. You're not going to walk in 3 to 5 years. So through other doctors and chiropractors and physical activity and riding bikes, I've been able to keep myself pretty healthy. But at 48, when I shut down and I could not move and I was in so much pain that at 8 o'clock in the morning, my young daughter comes out and asks me a question. I'm leaning on my desk, and I really literally bit her head off. I was in so much pain. When she walked away with such sadness in her eyes, I said, even if it is a surgery, I have to do something different. Something has to happen. I went in and saw Dr. Nelson and the chiropractor, and he said, Doug, I can give you some temporary relief, but I think there's some other stuff you need to do. Go find Dr. Tom, and he gave me his card again. I called. The only appointment they had was in an hour and a half because it was the Christmas season, unless I waited for a couple weeks. I went in and took it, and again, when I walked in, it was welcoming. And they started to identify that the multifidi wasn't working. They're saying, you're just exhausting all of these muscle regions. They're all so exhausted because nothing's really functioning the way it needs to be. Your pelvis is going out probably 6 times a day or somewhere in there. Every time it went out, I would literally think I was gonna almost fall and throw up. It was so painful. But when Tom said, I'm gonna teach you and help you to understand how to realign your pelvis, I thought, wow, never heard anybody talk quite like that out of many years. So in December, I was literally walked in, hunched over for about a month and a half, thinking that I was gonna have to have surgery. So through just general care. I think it was such a welcoming environment that I felt that through the healing process, this was a team that would understand my lifestyle and help me to build my life, not just here's a pill and you can go handle it, but when you have another problem, come back, we'll do something else. It was really sustaining to say, we welcome you at the door, we welcome your opinion, we're willing to teach you how your body's working and give you the exercises for you to go and function and rebuild yourself. So functioning has been one of the goals, and that's been huge. The second one's come right behind it, but I came in basically the middle of December, and within 6 months I wanted to go walk around Europe for a week, 2 weeks with my wife. And so at the time I thought impossible because I couldn't even walk to the front of the grocery store hardly without just being in excruciating pain. 5 or 6 months I went and walked around Europe. Third one was to go on some missions, so hopefully that'll be coming true again this year, I'm quite certain. And then 4 was really just helping to change my attitude. So through hope, you know that, hey, I've been better than I was, and I'm building and I'm strengthening. And now a year into it, looking back, I'm going, I'm quite different physically than I've ever been, at least for the 20 years or so that this has really been affecting my life. And so why it took so long, I didn't. I looked and looked and looked and looked, and people like this are very hard to find. So if you have that opportunity, I'd encourage you to come in, and if you get on a plan, stick with that plan. If it's 6 months, 8 months, a year, whatever it is, dedicate your life, because if you don't do it, nobody's going to do it for you. But these people will help to coach you, to encourage you, to help you walk through that period of life to where you can go off and function and do the things that you want to do. The support staff at DBT has always been warm, welcoming, encouraging, looking to see how they could help you. And so from the front door all the way into the office when you leave again, everybody's here to assist you and to encourage you. The investment for me, at first I thought, man, can I afford this? What can I do? And I started looking at what a surgeon would be, and actually I was in a surgeon's office, and they printed out this stack of papers and read through what it would be, and then what it would be out of network and out of pocket and all these things. I'm thinking, wow, this is a lot of money. And when I look back at what I've spent at DPT over the last year, it's literally a drop in the bucket. And when we traveled, I took some cards with me. And so what I did is I got them all around the world, where we have pictures of like, what's it called? It's literally the top of the world in Switzerland. Matterhorn, I think.
Okay.
So we're up at the top of the world at the Matterhorn, literally with DPT cards. We're around Rome. Everywhere we went, I mean, in Colosseums.
Yeah.
So my wife, some of them with my wife, some of them were just me, some of them with a little crowd of people.
Yeah.
But we're like, this, so what I was going to do was Doctor of Physical Therapy got me here.